It's an exciting Monday afternoon. We are here once again to take a look at issues as they affect you and I in this continent. The program Africa Discourse. I am Wilson Marshall. Today, it's all about the Russian African Summit. Yes, took place in Sochi, and people have been talking so much about it. At first, it was Russia-Tokyo Summit, and now Russia-African Summit. Everyone just inviting African leaders to come to talk economy, talk security, talk business. And it's like so many countries, too many coming to Africa to extend their hands right now of help. I don't want to use the word fellowship because they are saying they want to help Africa. Is Africa really in need of help? If so, how come many great countries, many great nations are like clamoring to have their foothold in Africa? Is it to this continent's advantage, or is it to our own disadvantage? What do we as a continent stand to gain? Anyway, my analyst will throw more light on this particular discourse. Join me to welcome Honorable Agarase Idubo. Yes, in fact, he's like all-encompassing, okay, an entrepreneur, a politician, you know, a broadcaster, you just name it, and I love this man so much. Welcome to the show, sir. I appreciate your coming.
Thank you very much.
Right.
I'm glad to be here.
And sitting very close to him is a lecturer, a clergyman, a political analyst, both local and international politics is well grounded. Both of them are well grounded in both local and international politics, and I don't love him less, okay? Jamie, to welcome Frank Amego. Welcome to the show. I appreciate you coming.
It's a pleasure being here.
All right. Here we are, within the space of like say 2 or 3 months, African leaders, I want to use the word, I should have brought the word now, summoned to greater countries like Japan and of course Europe. Sometimes they have meeting also with the US, but it's like this summoning is becoming more rampant, and people are like, taking a look at it from different perspectives, saying maybe, just maybe, this nation, they are saying something in Africa that Africans are not saying. Maybe, just maybe, they're trying to take advantage of Africa. Maybe, just maybe, they want to like have Africa in the palms of their hands to control. And here we are, Russia talking security, talking economy, talking all those good things or stuff that will benefit Africa positively. Let me start off from you, Honorable. What do you feel about this summit? First Tokyo, now Russia?
No, very basically, it's a timely summit. It's not Russia asking, now Africa is asking. Because, you know, Africa, to an extent, we need help. We need help. Russia is asking. Russia understands that most of the other helpers, America, Europe, Japan, China, their own help is conditional. But Russia is saying, ours will not be conditional. We'll give you wholesale. The reasons are very, not even far-fetched, because Africa is a large market. We're not emerging, we're a large market. We're a large market. And there is, when you find a market that is so large that you can do business, then of course it is in your own interest to start to seek partnership with that market. And what Russia has just done, but let me also say this quickly, before Russia now, the USSR had a very expansive trade in Africa. In our fact, most of the African countries that got independence, USSR, as it were, tried to save them from those colonial masters, dead. But having said this, this is the very first time Russia is meeting Africa as a continent. And I'm very sure, like you said, most of the things that they discussed, security, peace, economy, and of course they understand that we also don't understand the market ourselves. The things that we have, they talked about geology, the very major part of their meeting, they were talking about geology. That, to my mind, we're talking about our natural resources, which we don't have control over. Africa, as it were, doesn't have control over our resources. We still don't even know how much tin we have in Africa, how much bauxite we have in Africa. Just because Africa is not united in terms of having a common database for all of these mineral resources. So what Russia has just done by virtue of these meetings is, okay, fine, Africa, welcome. We want to further do business with you. And it's very clear to the whole world that Russia is quite nice in terms of conditions, but they have been dwarfed by China, America, Japan, and of course Europe. But they are saying now we want to step up our stake in Africa. So for what they have just done, and it's a very, in fact, all the other conferences that they've had in Africa, they've not had this number of presidents attending. Of 54 countries, 43 heads of state were physically present. This is the largest at any forum. So which suggests to us that, the African leaders now understand. I'm sure Russia has said to them, we'll give you unconditional support. So here, that's where we are. They all rushed there to go and negotiate this, so to speak, unconditional support, which of course will be to their own benefit. I agree with you when you say whether it's to our benefit or to their benefit. Definitely it's business.
All right.
So it's business. It's a two-way thing.
Okay.
They will not come and put their money here and expect that they will not have any return.
Okay.
So they must have some return. So basically it's business. But it's a low-interest business.
But a low-interest business. I'll come back to you on that. Now, he used the term rushing to Russia, and you're going to expatiate on that when the time comes again for you to answer one or two questions in course of this discussion. Now, Honorable Frank, tell me, tell me, from all he has said, with his open, I said Africa really needs help, but Europe, China, Japan, even US, they've been calling on Africa. He talked about also we not being in charge of our resources. He also mentioned the fact that this is the largest so far African presidents, heads of states attending or listening to the clarion call of Mother Russia. Is this the beginning of a new dawn for Africa? Because there's the first time Russia chose to do such.
Okay. What I see there, before USSR split in 1991, they had a reasonable level of grip on Africa. And I think Russia now wants to go back to that business link, that interactions they had with Africa, as they had that with USSR. The first thing I want to see is for the African leaders, about 52 of them, 43 came on their own, heads of state or government, while the rest sent representatives. I see that as a united Africa. Truly, we need help. We need some responsible countries like Russia in the exploitation of our mineral resources. But altogether, I see this as mutually beneficial cooperation. Russia is not going to help Nigeria, for instance, for nothing. As my very senior brother here has put it, there is little or no influence of Russia over Africa. Putin put it clearly that they will not be influencing politics and other things. What they want to do is just to be concerned about developing Africa. And all that they want to get from Africa, they have said that they need bauxite and other minerals to help in their industries. They have made everything open. And it's not left for African leaders to take advantage of that. My fear about this summit, of course, the first ever summit for a country like this, or like Russia, to call on African leaders, okay, let the meeting hold. One would have expected Russia come to somewhere in Africa and meet with us. But African leaders decided, okay, let's go and meet them. Let's go and meet Russians. And since we need help, they will help us in that direction. First, back home, Nigeria as a country, are we ready to implement whatever terms of agreements we have signed? Most times we are not ready. For instance, we started taking crude oil abroad. They will refine and they will bring back. Later on say, no, we shouldn't do that. So most times the problem we have with African leaders is implementation, not policies. I looked at the various policies enacted and discovered that if they implement 50% of this, Nigeria will be industrialized, and the whole of Africa by extension. So the question now is the Nigerian government in particular, does it have anything on the table? I can't ask you, let's make fried rice. You will bring the meat, you will bring the rice, as I will bring the cutleries.
To eat it.
We are not ready. So with the agreement reached, I praise the courage of the President Buhari for you to sum up that courage to say, let's go to Russia and discuss with them. Laudable idea. But back home, are we ready?
All right. Back home, are we ready? Now, that would be a discussion for another time if we are really, really ready. Now, the Russians, they never hid their agenda. This is what we need. They need our minerals. Others need our crude oil. They don't want to milk Africa dry, Honorable Garce.
But let me react to one of his statements.
Yes.
That they could have chosen a place in Africa
Okay.
for the summit. I think it's clear that they chose their own country. See, the African leaders had to visit installations in their country. You see, if I'm saying to you, I want to give you X, Y, Z, and I tell you I have expertise in this, and you want to see. So what African leaders did by going to Russia, I'm sure you also followed up. Most of the leaders went to formations, to establishments to see for themselves how those industries were being run. Some went with a very solid team, and their ministers or whoever they had as managers visited those establishments, which of course informed them on what decisions to make at the end of the day. But having said that, I see Russia, from what I have heard of this meeting that they had, the president did not rush there. You know, see, the president is one person who, I believe, like all African countries, it's like if you become the center, the focal person, all of us need you, and you are providing a service that virtually all of us need. So we must rush. So all of us must come. It's like putting a cube of sugar here. Ants across this environment will come. Yeah. They'll come. So Africa is in their need of help. I agree with my brother when he said, okay, fine. A friend of mine said to me that when opportunity meets preparation, then it's easy. But when there's opportunity and you're not ready for it, and they give it to you, you misuse it. Africa, I think we've learned a lot of lessons from our past. What Russia has promised Africa, look, I say this to you now. When we discover tin, for instance, we need to take part of it, take abroad. They will process it and come and tell us the quality and the quantity. Africa has not reached a level where we can determine. If we say we have discovered bauxite here now, we'll still take samples and send abroad
for analysis.
So and they come and tell us this is the quality. We don't know, but we accept what they're going to say to us. So what I think we should go beyond that by establishing systems where we can determine the quality of our natural resources. We can also determine the quantity We don't even know, like if you ask the NNPC director now, how long will this oil last? But America will know. If you bring an American man, it will know. It will tell you this thing will last for 100 years, or it will last for 50 years. If you bring a Russian man here, he will know. But here, we have kept on doing the thing. One day we'll just stop, and we'll all be held, captive.
Captive.
But
all right. We'll get to that though.
For a developed country,
all right.
For a developed country, they can see the end from the beginning. They understand that this oil, okay, they will explore, they will look at it, and they will say, fine, this oil will last us 100 years, or to last us 50 years. Okay, after 50 years, what do we now do? They have to think about life after oil. But in our own case now, we had other forms of revenue yielding things, but we threw them away because oil came. Then when oil finishes now, we're going to find another one. We don't even know when to finish now. But honestly, I think we are going to take advantage of this meeting with Russia. Russia has promised to, in the last meeting, even though we already have arms deal with them, but they have further said they're going to, establish nuclear centers in Africa, teach African countries how to establish nuclear weapons.
All right, we'll come to that. Teaching African countries how to really harness the power of the nuclear weapon or nuclear energy. But now, like what I asked before, though he threw a light on it and talked about we rushing to Russia, are they not trying to milk Africa dry? On one hand, people are taking the oil, they're taking it. On the other hand, now Russia is asking for our minerals. Is it not too much on this continent?
I don't see it in that light, because for African leaders, I'm sure they would have met at one time or the other to say, where do we go to? And they would have consulted some personalities, and they now concluded, let's go to Russia. Let's see for ourselves. And I wouldn't see it as that meeting being in a haste, because it became obvious to all the leaders that we all needed help. And the best country at this moment that could help us is Russia. I'm seeing Russia coming to the African continent, apart from trying to help us, they also need some kind of influence. We want to have impact on Africa. So, in that sense, I believe that Russia will be in a better position to help us, to the point that African leaders will not be carried away by the promises. There are documents, as we have been told right now, that Nigerian president would have gone with experts, that whatever the Russian government will put before them, they will negotiate it. Crude oil is not a problem to us, neither is it a problem to Russia. Incidentally, the reserve of crude oil in Russia is even almost equal, beyond that of Saudi Arabia, surprisingly. So if we have what to trade with, and when we trade with it, it's not going to be a problem, why not trade with it? So I don't see Russia exploiting us. I don't see it that way. It's a help that we need. In armory, in agriculture, for instance, Nigeria produces about 100,000 tons of wheat annually, and we import 2 million tons. So now Russia has promised will come to Africa, in Nigeria in particular, in that aspect of agriculture. So it's not a thing that will be paper at that time. We will see it. You are coming to revamp Ajaokuta that has been moribund for the past 40 years. If it's not revitalized, we will know it. I'm sure that agreement will have some clauses. If I'm able to do this, you will do that. If I'm not able to do that, that will happen. I didn't see the agreement, but I think Nigerian government is that smart not to go to an agreement, and at the end of the day, they are tied down. So it's not a rush to go to Russia.
All right. Now, he talked about exploitation, that this is not a matter of Africans being scared of being exploited by Russia. But people are feeling that this may just be another form of exploitation. Honorable, what do you feel about that?
Wilson,
Yeah.
what is the use of what you don't use?
What is the use of what you don't use?
Yes.
Good one.
I mean, you have minerals all over the place. You don't even know that they're there. You don't even know what to do with them. Somebody has now come. Let me add value to these resources.
By taking it from you.
Not taking.
Because they said they need it.
They will not just come and take it.
Yeah.
There will be a consideration. They will not just come and take. They have never taken anything. But who plans or who determines the consideration? That's the matter. But because we also don't know the quality and quantity of what we have, they determine it. They are the ones to tell you how much they want to pay for your product. But if you understand the quality, okay, fine. Talk about Brent, for instance, quality of oil. They determine they determine your oil. What is the quality of your oil? You don't even know.
And ultimately the price.
Yes, they fix the price.
Is that not exploitation?
It's not. It's because the Bible says, "My people perish for lack of knowledge." Anyone who has information has power. Whoever has information has power. We don't have information about our own products. All the things in our environment, we don't have information about them. We have this in across Nigeria. There are different kinds of natural resources across Nigeria. But I cannot speak on that now, whether the Ministry of Trade and Industry has enough information. But I think we don't have. Because when these Russians come eventually, they are going to be the one to explore these things. They're the ones. They had over 100,000 people in those days when they were here to do some few things. But basically, they will come, they will explore, they will fix the prices, or if we know, we'll fix our prices, and they'll take. So they are coming to add value to what we have naturally. And for me, I don't think it's an exploitation. What I think Africans should do, I don't know if it was now or you, if you negotiate this and they come to pay money, what some African leaders have done, let me use the word, they eat the money.
Eat the money.
They eat the money. So when they negotiate, okay, fine. I'm going to say your country has bauxite. Your country has tin. Let's negotiate. We'll sit down and negotiate. Then, I have a 4-year tenure, for instance, or have a 5-year single term. And I will negotiate 30 years. You bring all the money, I take the money. 30 years. So you pay for 30 years. In one swoop, the man takes all the money. So after you have left, 25 years after you have left, the people will be suffering. You have taken all. So for me, I think we should have leaders that have character. Our very main problem in Africa is, in some countries, the leaders don't have character. And because they don't have character, they cannot negotiate for the benefit of their people. They look at their own very small benefit, very myopic. Instead of negotiating for the whole people, they negotiate for themselves.
Right.
He made a point now. The quality of persons you take along for a visit or a summit is also important. If you are going to negotiate, for instance, a trade agreement, then you must take some persons who understand the things they're going to do. But some heads of state will just take people that don't even know the elements that they're going to face there. So I also believe that in our own climate, Russia has said clearly they believe in our natural resources. They have said that clearly. But I also say to say this to you, my brother, Russia is one of those countries that supports Africa with food. So much. And one of the things they also agreed to do for Africa is to come and develop agriculture.
All right. I'll come back to you.
And that again will put paid to hunger in Africa. You see, humanitarian issues are very important to us. And Russia is one of those very few countries that has supported Africa so much by way of humanitarian efforts and support.
All right. Now, from what he said this is not a matter of exploitation.
Obviously.
It's a business. Now, Russia coming in now. Why now? Is it because others were coming to Africa? Because we have Japan, African Summit, US is there, Europe is there. People are asking, why now? Why the sudden love for Africa?
Well, Africa has the market. And for Russia to come in now, they're not just coming in now. They've been making several moves, even since 2015. Some few African heads of state have been interacting with the Russian country. And the time we just had it last week now is the right time. You can't plant a seed and say, why are you just growing now? I planted coconut, the cassava is true, you are still there. So this is the right time for it. No delay whatsoever, because I have a particular fear, personally, because America may not be happy because of the infiltration of Russia into Africa now.
Because that is where we are, that's where we are going to.
America may not be happy. Their happiness or unhappiness does not matter to us. What matters to us is our happiness right now. I can see a united Nigeria in several years to come. For us to cry out, we need help. No shame. Please help us. And now help is on the way. I still have another fear. The fear is the way we will handle it in Nigeria. I expect the Federal Executive Council, any moment from now, to interact with the MDAs, ministries, departments, and agencies concerned with all of these promises made or agreements made. So if they interact with them, remove politics. We're talking about lives now. So if they can interact with the MDAs, I'm sure whenever the deal will be materializing, all the various agencies and departments and ministries will have been part of the planning. A situation whereby, okay, let's visit Ajaokuta, Minister of Mines and Industry. So it's not before us, we are not aware. So let them be aware now. Call for a meeting. This is a serious business. This is a summit that will make or mar Nigeria permanently. So if we take it seriously, Nigeria in a short while will be highly industrialized. God helping us with some bits of sincerity. And with the other fear of misappropriation. A deal you have struck for 30 years and you're going to collect the money in 2 years, doesn't matter to you what happens thereafter. So if we bring in sincerity, as it is right now, it's showing some bits of sincerity in the government of this country now. If the president with his team would come together, that Nigeria has suffered a lot. Let's make this 2019 a turning point for Nigeria. Who knows? Democracy Day might well turn to become October again.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for your wonderful opinion. Right now, we want to go for a break. When we return, the implication of this summit in the international forum, talking about international politics. You know, they have blocks. Yes, and Africa seems to be a major bloc to reckon with when we talk about position in the UN. Is that what Russia is gunning for? Because you may not know, due to the help from Africa, China, Japan, they benefited so much when we talk about office in the United Nations. Is that why Russia is saying, come, let's help you to help us? We'll be right back. Do stay tuned.
Nigeria, are you ready for the 15th edition of Miss ITV Hot Legs Nigeria Beauty Pageant and ITV Radio Fashion on the Runway 2019? Are you pretty, good looking, intelligent, and you've got what it takes to be the next Miss ITV Hot Legs Nigeria Beauty Queen? Then go get your form now. The first 20 persons to go to independent television and radio, Glasshouse Airport Road, or purely event House of Model, number 10 Iagbe Street off Ekewa Road, Benin City. Get their form for free. Wow, what are you waiting for? Celebrating 15 years of Miss ITV Hot Legs Nigeria Beauty Pageant 2019 and be the local winner of a car and other other fantastic prizes. ITV Radio Fashion on the Runway 2019. Are you a fashion designer? Do you run a fashion school? Do you run a fashion boutique? Then go get your form now for 5,000 naira to contest for ITV Fashion on the Runway 2019 and win our fantastic prizes and lots of consolation prizes.
Chairman of the occasion, Barrister Case Rabo, constitutional and human rights lawyer.
Audition date Friday 8 November 2019. Venue Exquisite Home 2, Iyama Road, GRA, Benin City. Time 10 a.m. Dress code black tank top on a blue jean. Grand finale date December 1st. Venue Eluria Hall and Suite, Sabalo Road, Benin City. Miss ITV Hot Lake Nigeria Beauty Pageant. It's getting bigger and better. Get set for the Keep Walking edition.
This event is supported by Oviomo Foundation, helping to build a better society through numerous platforms.
Vive La Vive Boutique, sales of female and children clothing, shoes, bags and other accessories. 11A, West Uber Road, After Water Resources, and located at Market Square, Sapele Road, Benin City. Fortune Skincare, 61 Adesua Grammar School Road, off Uber by Water Resources. The Bliss Hotel and Suites, 163 Punch Home Hotel Road, Benin City. And the Model Cooking Gas, 247 FM Way, Benin City. Wesley Premium Table Water, number 2, Wesley Street, Oka Community, off Benin Sapele Road, Benin City. Honorable Michael Izomo, CEO, St. Izomo Farm Organization. Ogbe Motors Nigeria Limited, 202 Sapele Road, Benin City. Global Foods and Cinemas, 59 Urubi Street, Benin City. Samotaka Generators and Electronics, number 66 Wire Road, Benin City. Burr Bank Oil, located at Benin Akure Road, Oluku, where 1 liter of fuel is 1 liter.
For sponsorship and participation, call this number 080-5656-3675 or 080-5673-3170. Miss ITV Hot Lake Nigeria Beauty Pageant. Discover the beauty in you. Miss ITV Radio Fashion on the Runway. Fabrics, needle and thread, creativity at its best.
The Yuletide is here again.
Oh Lord, our eyes are on you.
So,
Shower your blessings. But God does not come down. He sends his vessels.
Yeah, ITV Radio presents the Sambali Dayton Father Christmas, aka Father Blessing, to shower gift this season.
Kindly invite ITV and Radio Sambali Dating Father Christmas, aka Father Blessing, to put smiles on the face of your children. Visitation commences November 2019.
We hereby call on schools, churches, and corporate organizations to make their booking now, as visitation is on first come, first served basis.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
For booking, call 0708 365 2474.
This program is
Supported by Builders Inn, the Builders Mart for tiles, cement, sanitary, doors and roofs. 10 Sokomba Road, 19 and 32 Cook Road, Benin City.
ITV and Radio Sambali Dating Father Christmas.
Shower your blessings.
Thank you so much for staying tuned. Yes, it's a live studio. Anything can happen. Well, this is Africa Discourse. If you just joined us, mind if you just joined us not some few moments ago, you can see the full discussion. All you need to go to our social media platform on our YouTube channel. Yes, at YouTube/ITV Radio, and you just search for ITV Radio on YouTube. You get to see every video we're doing in all current affairs program. Better still, you get a Star Times bouquet, tune to channel 130, or Go TV bouquet, tune to channel 107, and you get to see everything. You can tweet at me, at Marshall Wilson, or better still, on our own platform at ITV Radio, and you will get interactive. You put hashtag Africa Discourse. What do I want to say about it? And believe you me, I will reply, follow you right back. It's all about the African-Russian summit in retrospect. Who is to gain? For whose benefit? Now, we were talking about positions in the UN and Africans, talking about African nations. They've been instrumental in giving some of these great nations juicy offices, so to speak, positions in the UN, and China cashed in on it. Even Europe also, they are doing the same thing. France, US. Is that what Russia is targeting, Honorable?
No, it's not. If it is, I mean, it's not a wrong target. If it is. But having said all of that, let me also say they have not come into Africa too late. No, they haven't.
Yeah.
You don't just rush into a place without knowing why you are going there. You need to go there advisedly. You don't just say because everybody is going there, you want to go there. So you must look for what is in it for me. So it is now that they saw something that they think they want. Maybe they didn't see all along, but now they've seen. And they have openly said, this is where we are coming. And they're going to come there. All I need to say to Africa is that their coming should be to the benefit or for the benefit of Africa. Not just for the benefit of Russia. So it must be for the benefit of Africa. And to that extent, African leaders must sit down. We must have a common pool where the African Union can put together a database of all our natural resources. All. And it will be easier if we can have a database where all of these things can be, so to speak, talked about. Then we can also have a situation whereby we can also process information. Because once you don't process information rightly, then you'll be enslaved. So for me, Africa can still hold their own in this business. Don't let anybody deceive anybody. Even in Freetown, there's no free meal. Russia won't come here and say because they're your brothers, they like you. And that's why they want to come here. That's not the point. They must come to do business. If he might come to invest his money, money is not free. It could give you could cushion your pains, but to say it's free, it cannot be free. They are coming to do business in Africa. But the business will be beneficial to Africa. The minerals have been there all this while, doing nothing with them. So if somebody has just come and said, okay, fine, I want to come and help you to develop or add value or give meaning to this, your wealth, then of course, I think it's a step in the right direction if African leaders open up for them to come, explore these things, not exploit now, they will explore them.
Right.
And allow Africans to be part of it and add value to those things. There is no way, like I was telling a friend of mine, if like in Nigeria for instance, I'm sure half of the cars we use in Nigeria are Toyota brand. Half of the cars. So if Toyota decides to come and establish a factory in Benin City or in Nigeria or in Africa, then of course it's a step in the right. But in Nigeria, half of the cars we use in Nigeria are Toyota brand. So we should be asking Toyota or Japan to come and establish an industry in Nigeria. Or we'll stop buying their products. So if they're not coming to, they will not be thinking that they're coming to explore. No, not to exploit us. They're only coming to look at the market and further improve. So I want to think that Russia means well, and they are offering a very fine olive branch to Africa, which I believe we should rightly take, so that at the end of the day, all these sleeping minerals can be awakened. Because they're there, they don't have value there until they come out. There's no value where they are now. Where are those things there? Oh, it's in the ground. Gold is nothing if it's raw. Until
it's refined,
yes,
purified.
So very honestly, all those things we have, down the earth, until they are extracted. So Russia wants to come and add value to those things, and we should allow them do that. We should not be thinking about whether they're going to exploit us. Every other country that ever took anything from here did the same. I mean, I don't know how old you were then. We had a very flourishing cocoa industry in Nigeria. We're taking the cocoa to London. They will make over and bring to us. Why wouldn't they have established an Ovaltine factory here? We now have to take cocoa from Nigeria to London. They will bring back to us and sell to us. So for me, I just believe that, and Russia has promised that for everything they want to come and take from here, they will establish an industry that will process those things. But then they will be the real persons, determining or calling the shots.
That is where I'm coming to right now.
They have to. No, listen. Listen. There's no way they can. They can come here and put their money. Then they will not manage it. It's not possible. They must manage it.
Okay.
They could manage it. It could be a system of say, okay, build, operate, and transfer.
Build, operate, and transfer. I'll come back to you, sir. Okay, I'll come back to you. Now, he used the term, they'll be the one calling the shot. Is that not another form of exploitation?
No.
Seriously?
No.
Africa owns a mineral. They are coming to mine.
No.
They determine the prices, they determine the quantity, and you said that is not a form of exploitation.
Yes. My no is premised on where the fund is going to come from. It's not clear yet. The only thing that is clear to me first is the nuclear plant to be built in Egypt. It's about $25 billion. That's about 19 billion pounds. That's the only thing that is clear to me. But what they're going to do in Nigeria, is it the Nigerian government that will fund it? The source of funding is germane to this control. If we want the Russian government to fund the revamping of our Jakarta Steel Company, even the Atcon, if you want me to fund it, of course I will fund it and I'll cut the shot. If you don't want me to, you fund it, I'll provide the expertise, you provide the resources needed to do the work. So there should be no fear. If the Nigerian government sees we are not financially buoyant, Russia, come with the money, come with the expertise. They were scared. I'm not scared of that. It's just like you're in a bus moving from point A to point B. You will see the driver. Let's say you're moving from Benin to Lagos. You'll likely see the driver driving. But if you go on air, which is more expensive, you won't see the pilot. So it's what is on the table that determines who calls the shot. What are we providing? I think I should ask you that question.
In all of this, Wilson,
Yes.
I don't think we need to. You see, when you have a system, like he said, Russia did that Jakarta before. They did. They were the ones that came here. But Nigerians compromised Nigeria. I don't know if you knew that they arrested the MD by the time that thing went aground. They arrested him for that time. There was no ICPC that time or EFCC, but they ran the place aground. Although they didn't finish the construction, but now they're going to come. I agree with my brother, who will provide the finance. But basically, I'm sure what is going to happen is, if they bring the expertise and we provide the finance, it will still be a burden on us. It will still be a burden on us. From the way they have spoken to each other, if Russia decides to bring the resources, then of course, even if they bring the expertise, not even the resources, the expertise is also a resource. But if they bring the human resources now, they will still call the shots, because they will be the bosses. They will still call the shots because they're the ones to teach you how to take over. And what you will know will be to the extent of what they tell you. So very honestly, we still have a long way to go in this country. But having said all of this, let us not even bother about. A friend of mine used to say to me, if we don't bother about who takes the glory, we can all work and work well. But when we start to bother who takes the glory, then we'll be seeing everybody will be scrambling. Otherwise, if we agree, let's as a group, let's work. Doesn't matter who takes the glory, but let us succeed. Let us succeed. If we succeed, take the glory, but then we have succeeded. But if I now bother about who takes the glory, then we'll be competing with each other, we shall be struggling, and we may not even achieve success. So, who is going to benefit? My own take is that Africa should be the beneficiary of this process. Hugely, not just, hugely. We must benefit from this process to an extent that will be very visible. But basically, you also understand that the man who plays the piper, they are going to bring all for the exploration of minerals. They are going to bring expertise and money. They are going to bring money to explore those minerals, like they did for us during the coal whatever. They brought all the money. established the coal mines, established the coal factories. But when the thing was failing, when they didn't understand the quality of coal anymore, they ran away.
They ran.
They ran away. So this one, now they're going to determine, and I'm sure Russia is very intelligent as a country. They must have come to Africa. They must have seen those things they want to come and do. They must have tested the quality. And they must have found reasons to come.
All right.
So for them now, they are coming to stay. They're not coming late, they're coming to stay. Now to ensure that they add value to our natural resources.
All right. Now, he used the word they are coming to stay. Now, that is a clause he used, coming to stay. Is it not other method of establishing posts in cities that are so variable, will I say reliable, or even of great importance to the Russian outpost in Africa?
Well, I don't want to...
Because America is doing the same thing in various parts in Europe. In Africa also they have their presence. China also they have presence there. Don't think Russia is trying to expand their coast indirectly, having presence in major African countries and cities.
There is no fear of any presence from Russia, from US, anywhere. As he rightly said, you need to be on top to be a topic. Nigeria is down. We need help. Who takes the glory doesn't matter to us right now. If I'm very hungry and I begged you for food and you gave me, then you went ahead and started announcing that you gave me food. That's your business. I'm fed now. So what the African leaders want is let Africa come out from the past and enter into the present so they can project into the future.
I think Russia will be able to take Africa there.
They can, if we are willing.
Because other countries, they've been here. You have China, you have US, you have
what
Japan,
Russia
you have
is doing
Europe.
now is to fill in the gaps. The Western countries have done something, but there's still some gaps left. That's what Russia is trying to fill up right now. So they're not trying to duplicate what America did, what France did. They are filling up the gaps. And that's why we are applauding it. They should fill it up.
They should fill it up.
They should fill it up.
No, that's the word. That's the word. They're filling the gaps. Yeah. They did not come to compete with other nations. Africa is a large market. Listen. It's like, okay, let's take Nigeria for instance. Politicians, they look for areas where they have plenty of votes, and they capitalize. They spend more time
There.
If, for instance, I want to run an election for and those states, maybe local government A has 10 people, local government B has 50 people, local government C has 100 people. Then all of us will be looking for that local government C. And Africa is the local government C. Now the whole world understands that it's an expanse. So much. I mean, the market is so large that I'm not sure even one country can even do everything. We can't even do everything. With Russia coming in, they will just now they have decided where they want to go. They're not coming to look. Although they're talking about our oil, because there's one company in Russia which you say has more, is bigger than NNPC. Bigger than NNPC. One company. So you can imagine if they now choose to come and assist us. Now we have a gas plant agreement with them.
Yeah.
But they say there's one company in Russia. They say their production is bigger than NNPC, Nigeria. So honestly, I think we should be thanking these people for accepting to come and take us out of poverty. Because we have these minerals, like I said before, they don't have any value in the ground. No value until you extract them. Don't let us bother. Let's take America for instance. America will give you conditions. And the conditions became so stiff. It got to a point that now brought IMF. Which I'm sure tomorrow we don't understand. we don't understand. They give you some conditions that, but Russia has said now they're going to come. No stiffening conditions. They'll just come, do it rightly. Yeah, we'll negotiate. Yes. How much can you pay? 2%? Okay, take. Come. Unlike the other one, this is the matter. So for me, I think But again, I'm sure we've not said this here. Russia is going to build an African continental free trade zone. And what that suggests to us is that now they will not standardize, items. So you can have a large market where all things that have to do with Africa can be, can go through. And that would be nice for us. So once they build the African continental free trade zone, that would be a very major achievement for Africa.
Right. Thank you so much, sir. Honorable Frank, you're going to have the last line on this discussion because I'm getting struck. Signal that time is up. What advice do you have to African nations? They've gone to Russia, they are back, and now it's like an agreement has been reached. What advice do you have?
The 2-day summit has come and gone. But we have to come back to Nigeria. All the various agencies involved as far as areas of development that we have gone into agreement with Russia is concerned, we have to call them together and create an enabling environment. You don't buy a brand new car that you're using in Abuja, you want to drive it on Ugbawa Road, S&T River. So you must create that environment.
All right.
So that as they come, they will be able to carry out why they came.
Thank you so much.
No, listen, you see, the MDA thing.
Yeah.
The ministries will sign a contract. The DAs will know. The ministry will know, but the president won't know.
Our time is up.
That's the problem.
Our time is up. Thank you so much, gentlemen. We are watching. Agreements have been reached. Let's see how Russia will make Africa, Nigeria also in particular, better. See you tomorrow on International Forum. Bye for now.
This is ITV. Certainly the best.
Yes, so straight to Mama Miracle, for quality test material. I say, come Mama Miracle. We don't pay a shrebi. You know what disappoint you.
See glasses, see plenty ashwabi for Mama Miracle Store. EJ, Mama Miracle Store. This one too much. See all kind of waxy, whether na London wax, Nigerian wax, high target, Hollandis, brocade, Kampala, lacy, Yasegbe hair tie. All day whether for 1x1 retail or for plenty boku buy of wholesale. Mama Miracle Store, you get all boku, make you come collect her now. No need to the holla say I want ashwabi. Now only 20 I see, I not see reach 50. Papa, foul. Mama Miracle Store, you don't get that now. Any kind design where you want it, any amount of number where you want it. Mama Miracle Store, get them. Make you waka enter. See them, sit down for the head office 211 Motala Muhammad Way. The story building where they near Ekiosa for Teddy Sekula. Mama Miracle Store, this one a big miracle.
In the web of the mystery, in the balance of the oracle, the bench of prophets is exhausted. This is an esoteric subject. The truth had carried, now must be told. The mystery being finished, the vision now must play. Gospel Church invites you to the 2019 convention. Theme, Proclaiming Liberty in the Land. Venue, Gospel Church, number 1 Gospel Avenue off Adesua Street off Airport Road, Benin City, Edo State. Date, 4th to 10th of November. Time, 5 p.m. daily. Speaker, Elder David, the Beloved. Come to convention. Come to this week of liberty. The spoken word is the original seed. Signed, Elder David, the Beloved.
Situated in one of the most serene locations of the historic ancient city lies the most intriguing hospitality edifice right here in Benin City. Morsi Hotel. It's beyond just calling it a hotel. It is an idea that